So yesterday we created VPC resources, all the resources. So this is the diagram, right? So we created VPC, Internet Gateway, public subnet, private subnet, database subnet. We created route tables, and then we associated them with the respected subnets, and we created one NAT gateway and it's elastic IP. Okay, so this is what we have done yesterday. And now you know how to find such within the documentation, how to create the resources. Okay, and later we started discussing variables. So variables follow dry principle, don't repeat yourself. You create variable and provide the value, then you can use it wherever you want. So that's what the basic concept, right? So in any programming language, scripting language, whatever it is, okay, in the entire IT industry, so we have few concepts, that is variables, data types, conditions, loops, functions. So these are the only concepts in any programming or scripting. You name it, PLSQL, Jenkins, Ansible, Terraform, shell scripting, Python, whatever it is. Okay, the entire concepts are these three only. Okay, just syntax may be different, but the concepts are same. Okay, you declare the variable, you provide the value. While declaring, you need to tell which type of variable it is, whether it's a integer, float, length, long, something, string, boolean, whatever. Okay. So Terraform also has a concept of variables. Yesterday we started discussing variable. So the syntax is variable, name of variable. So here you will mention type. This is called data type, nothing but string, and you will provide default value, and you can provide syntax description as well. Okay, so this is the syntax. So this is the variable declaration, and this is providing the type. If you don't provide type also in Terraform, it will take it automatically. Okay, so it has some intelligence that it can take automatically. So let us do that. I'm creating a folder variables here. So inside we can have provider.tf. So whatever you are doing, running Terraform init commands, provider.tf is mandatory. So here, so I will use, I will create some security group, okay, to demonstrate the concept of variables. To create security group, first we need to create VPC. Okay, and then create security group. This is the dependency generally. So first, let me create the VPC. Okay, let us keep all these things in variables. Create one file called variables.tf. So this should be variable CIDR block, type equal to string, and then default value equal to 10.0.0.0/16. Description is not mandatory. If you want, you can provide. Here, what you have to do this var.CIDR block. Okay, that's it. So you can create ideally all variables. This is not string, you can use it boolean. Okay, true. Oh, sorry, this is string only. default value itself is default. Okay, and this one var dot DNS support. We create this variable DNS support type equal to bool. Bool is nothing but boolean. Default is true. Okay, and then DNS host name, this is also var dot DNS host names. Okay, and you see, if you see here, so this is a map. Okay, map is nothing but key value pairs. Okay, now I will create a map variable called tags. Variable tags type equal to map of. You can just give map, or else you can tell it is going to be a string. Default map will start with this flower braces, and inside it should be key value pairs. Okay, I'm giving name as timing and Terraform as true, and then environment as dev. Okay, so this is called as map. Inside, if you are providing string, you can just give like this. Okay, if you don't give this one also, not a problem. If you give also, it's fine. So map is always key value pairs. So this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value. And for the entire map, this is the key and this is the value. Okay, how you refer here, it's nothing but var dot tags. That's it. So here you can just say var dot instance tenancy. Okay, so this is how you can create string Boolean map. You can try this. cd variables Terraform init. So Terraform init, you should do it in a folder where you have TF files. If you do it outside, then definitely it will get you error. Okay. Now let's go for Terraform plan. Okay, you can see all your variables are applied. Let's go for Terraform apply. So in Terraform, we have the variable data types as number, string, bool, list, and map. Okay. You can see we have our VPC created. So now let us create security group. AWS security group. And here, let's just copy this. So imagine you should create a security group for RDS. Security group for Postgres RDS. Okay, Postgres RDS generally works on 5432. Okay, so allow, you can just name it as allow Postgres. Here, allow Postgres, you can just give it anything. Allow Postgres inbound traffic. Okay, AWS VPC main dot ID. This is fine. So here you see this is a number. Okay, so I don't want to hard code here. I will create a variable Postgres port. Okay, type equal to number and then default equal to 5432. So here it is var dot Postgres port, var dot Postgres port. Okay, so here if you see CIDR block is which type here? This is a list. Okay, so if you want list, you need to create a variable of list. List can have one or many, or zero or many. CIDR list type equal to list default. Can have empty list, one element or multiple elements. Okay, for example, I am giving two CIDRs. Like this, for example, 10.0.2.0/24. So I'm giving like this. So now here, so list always starts with this kind of bracket, var.CIDR. Okay, so we don't need this IPv6. So tags, you can say var.tags. So ideally, you can keep these also inside variables, but anyhow, we have seen the string type of variable. Now I'm concentrating on number and list. Now, if you plan okay, you are getting it. Let us apply and then check. Let's go and check it. Timing, security group, inbound rules. If you see, you have two inbound rules created. Okay, because you provided two CIDR. If you provide one, then only you will get one. Okay, so these are the concept of variables. We use these variables very much, okay, in our project discussions. So next thing, we have a simple concept of count and count index. Okay, so we have a task of creating 3 EC2 instances. Okay, so one is for web server and the other one is for API server and the other one is for DB server. Okay, so I need to create 3. So you know the syntax of EC2 instance, right? So we have created here. Let me take this. If you don't give any VPC, generally this will be created inside default VPC. Okay, remember this. So every AWS account region will have one default VPC. You can just check here. This is the VPC default. You can see default is VPC. You don't need to create. AWS will always create one default VPC in every region. You can check here. Any region you go and check, you have one default VPC. Okay, remember this. And if you guys, you are trying, for example, we are giving the provider configuration in AP South 1. And when you are trying to create EC2 instance, you are getting the EC2 instance from US East 1. Okay, you should get the AMI ID from Mumbai region only. AMI per region is different. Okay. AMI IDs are different for different region. Remember this. Okay. So this is the Mumbai region AMI. If you go for another region, AMI ID will be different. So now this, this will create one instance. If you want multiple instance, you can create 3. Okay, you can name it as web server. You can name it as API server, and then you can name it as DB server. Okay, let us go for Terraform plan. Okay, you can see we are getting 3 instances. What if I want 10 instances, 20 instances? I cannot go and keep on adding the thing like this. Okay, so you always remember, try to keep the code minimum and do the maximum work. Okay, this is the best principle of coding. Okay, try to keep the code minimum and do the max work. If you see here, and don't repeat yourself. This is the main principle you should remember anytime, not only Terraform, anywhere in IT. So now definitely every programming, scripting, whatever, it will give you the way to keep the code minimum. So in Terraform also we have a way that is called count. Okay, count, just say Terraform count. So if you want 4 instances, just keep count equal to 4. So now instead of creating like this, what I do is count equal to 3. Now you can see 3 instances are getting created: web server 0, web server 1, and web server 2. So let me apply this Terraform apply -auto approve. Okay, now let's go and then check here EC2. You can see we are getting 3 instances. Okay, if you give 30, you will get 30 instances. That is how you can use the count. If you just give count, it will create the ask number of instances. But here a simple disadvantage is there. Don't have any name. If you give name here, for example, tags, let us give tags var dot tags. Okay, we got the instances running. Now, if you give tags, okay, let us apply. Now everything got the name of timing. So I want it to be a web server, app server, and database server. So for that purpose, Terraform is giving you another thing that is called count.index. So you know index always starts from 0 to n. Okay, you asked for 3, then the index starts from 0, 1, 2. If you ask for 10, the index starts from 0, 1, 2, and so on 9. Okay, so now we asked for 3, so we are getting 0, 1, 2. So in this case, the best way to do is create a variable instance names type equal to list of names, default equal to. So I want web server, API server, and then DB server. Okay. So for now, I'm removing this var.tags. Okay. Here, name equal to var.instance name, instance names. Of so not highlighted. Var.instance names of count.index. So now what will happen for the first time when it is creating the instance, it will go and fetch the instance names list, and inside that first time you will get 0 index. What is in 0 index? Web server. Next time it will get 1. Next time it will get 2. So that is how this count.index parameter will be useful for us. Okay. Yeah. So there may be something syntax wrong. So variable name is not highlighted with blue color. Let us see. Okay, Terraform plan. Okay, it is saying it is going to apply the changes. So it's done. Now you go and refresh. You got your names. So this is how generally you use count and count.index to create multiple resources. Okay. So this count and count.index is very useful in our while creating projects. We will anyhow use them with project again. Okay, now variables count and count index is done. Data types is also done. Now let us discuss on conditions. Okay, if you are getting multiple questions, just hold on. Okay, we are going to address all those things slowly. Okay, now conditions. So conditions is also a well-known concept every one of us knows. For example, we know this condition. All of us may have seen at least in our C language sessions. Okay, if this expression is true, this will run. If this expression is false, this will run. For example, if I ask you to write a simple program to check whether it is Sunday or not. If it is Sunday, no school. If it is not Sunday, then school is there. How you write simple expression? Day equal to Sunday, like this. Print holiday. So I'm not following any particular programming syntax. I'm just doing some generally. Okay. Print go to school. Okay, so this is the condition, right? So usually we'll get, for example, day equal to Monday. So then Monday is not equal to Sunday. This will be false. If this is false, this will run. If this is Sunday, this will become true, then this will run. So this is the concept of conditions we have. So in Terraform also we have a condition, but it is very easy. No need to write these many lines. So the conditions is like expression, question mark. This will run if it is true, colon. This will run if false. Okay, simple one line thing. So you will give expression and then question mark. If this is true, this will run. If this is false, this will run. Okay, so that is the simple syntax. Terraform conditions. Okay. So you see condition, question mark. This will, if true, this will run. If false, this will run. Okay. So now let us use this condition to create some EC2 instance. Okay, removing count for now. Okay, so now the concept here is, okay, let us keep this one. I'm creating one more resource. Okay, single instance, for example. So now the task is, if environment is production, create t3.large instance. If not production, create t2.micro instance. Okay. So generally in production, we need large instances. In development and testing environments, we need smaller instances. Okay, this is the condition. How can you implement a condition for this? Now, let me create one variable is prod. Okay, can just give type equal to boolean, and then default value is nothing but true. Okay, so how can you write the expression here is, instead of t2.micro, you need to write an expression that is var dot is prod. This is the syntax. Question mark. Var dot is prod question mark. If true, this will run t3.large. If false, colon t2.micro. Okay, you can see this. Var dot is prod. What is the value of this? True. So if true, then instance type will become t3.large. If it is false, instance type will become t2.micro. Now let us try Terraform plan. Okay, you can see it is t3.lodge because var.prod is true. Let me make it as false. You can see t2.micro. So conditions are very easy in Terraform. Instead of like this true or false, you can always go for another thing. Environment. Make it as string. Okay. For example, this is prod. Okay. Instead of using Boolean, you can also use string type. So here, what you have to do is var dot environment equal to prod. Okay. So if var dot environment equal to prod, this will run. Not equal to prod, this will run. So what is the value right now? Prod. So prod is equal to prod, then we will get t3.lodge. Let us check this. Okay, t3.lodge. Now let us give dev. t2.micro, you can see. So you can use Boolean variables or something like strings, and you can try using the expressions here. Okay. So that's it. This is all about conditions in Terraform. You practice this, anyhow, we will also use this concept in our project. Okay, so this is about conditions. And before going to loops, let us discuss functions. Okay, usually functions is also a universal concept. What it does is it can do a unit of work whenever you ask. Okay, so generally in programming or scripting languages, what you do is you will create a function name and you will accept some variables like this, and inside you do something and you return something. So this is the function. So function always can do some work for you. Okay, you no need to do. For example, if you are conducting an event, you will ask someone to do some work. So that is, you are asking someone to do some work. They will do the work and they will report to you. Similarly, functions in coding. So if you ask the function to do something, it can do it and it can return the value to you. So we have Terraform functions. You can see, for example, if you ask Terraform to give me the maximum number of these three, then you use function name maximum and pass the arguments. For example, if you want to try this one, this git bash, I don't think it will work for this. Yeah, so this is the Terraform console. Generally, to do the operations at console, I'm giving maximum function. I'm giving 600 and then 1000 and then 800. I'm asking Terraform to give me the maximum value of these three. Then it should show you the result. Okay, git bash is not working for this. Let us go for the actual Windows command prompt. Windows. Yeah. Terraform console. Maximum of 500, 200. 500, 200, 1000, 300, 4000, something. Okay, now it is getting you the result. So here max is the function. You can use Terraform functions to do some work for you and it will give you the result. Similarly, you can do minimum of 100, 20, 400, something 40,000. Then you are getting the result. So there are different types of functions. For example, numeric functions, you can have minimum, maximum, logarithmic value, and something absolute value. And you have string functions. Okay, string. Let us see this join function. So if you want all these, just read this. This is a very simple. Okay, if you want foo, bar, bash, all these strings to be mixed with the hyphen, then join function. Okay, for example, I'm giving join. I want to join all the names of my, for example, this one, list of names like this. Siva, Kumar, and Reddy. Okay, I'm providing a list of names and I want it to join with hyphen. Okay, you got this. If you want to join with space, for example, you give first name, middle name, last name, right? So ultimately you want the with space, then list of your first name, middle name, and last name, for example. Okay, you'll get the result. So this is the string function, one of the example of string function. You can use many other functions, for example, split. Okay, you can split the name and it will give you the list. For example, this is the opposite of join. I want to split a name, separator, and the string you want. For example, what is the separator? Space. Now I want to split this name with space. Okay, now you can see the split function split this name with space and then it is giving you separate names as list. Okay. So this is one of the function. You don't need to worry, just practice now. We will use these functions very much. And let us use this file function to create a EC2 instance. Okay. So till now, while creating EC2 instance, we are not giving a key name. If you don't give key name, you cannot log into the instance. So generally, when creating EC2 instance, what we do, we will attach public key to the server. You have private key in your laptop. Then you will use private key to log in. Okay, this is the normal process, right? So let me create some. This is stuck. Okay, let me create SSH key. So how to create SSH key? SSH hyphen keygen hyphen F, the key name you want. Okay, if you don't know this SSH and then creating servers, public key and private key, I suggest you to go through. I hope all of you are aware, but some of you, if you don't aware, I suggest you go through this Linux free course. Okay, I explained all the things here about SSH connectivity, public key, private key, how to generate all those things. Okay. SSH hyphen keygen Terraform, then it will create Terraform public key and Terraform private key. Okay. So now SSH hyphen keygen hyphen F Terraform. Enter, enter. Now you can go and check. See users, your username. You can see here terraform.pub. This is public, and this one generally it is .pem extension. Okay, so this is how two files are generated. Now I need to supply the public key to the server. So to supply that public key to the server, there is a resource called AWS key Terraform. Okay, so this is how you should create a key pair first. AWS key pair. I am giving Terraform, and here also Terraform. Let me check whether I have a name with this already. Yeah. Okay. So now I don't have any keys, right? Now I'm creating a key. So instead of hard coding here, what I will do, I will use file function. Where is this? So this file function, what it will do is it will go to the path you have given and it will read the content from that. For example, this file function, if you want, okay. So anyhow, let us do this directly. File, where is the key? It is in C folder, users / user terraform.pub. Okay, so it will go to this users folder, and from here it will read this terraform.pub. Okay, that is how this is useful, file function. Okay, now let us check Terraform plan. Okay, you can see it is able to read this from the file. So file function is useful to read the contents of a file. Now, if you want to give here key name equal to AWS key pair.terraform.key name. Okay. Now let us apply. Okay, you can go and check this. Key should be created here. Okay, key Terraform is created and it will attach to the instance. So this is the instance getting created. You can check. Terraform key is attached. So you can log in now. So this is how file function is useful. And we have one more function that is merge. We use it frequently. The merge function is from strings, I think. Yeah, from the collections type, you can see merge. What is it? Yeah, merge. And we use lookup as well. So merge takes a map or any objects and it will merge the elements. For example, let us take our case. We have variables dot tags. Okay, so this is the tag. I am applying to all the resources. I apply to the security group also. But what if I want a separate name? So this is the common tags. By default, this will apply to all the resources, for example. What if I want a different name for security group? Okay. So in that case, what you do is you go for merge function. So merge, it will take two maps. Now what you have to do here, merge, you already have one map, that is var dot tags, and you create another map that is nothing but like this, name equal to timing RDS security group. Okay, so if you do like this, what will happen? Since you are merging, then this will override this one and remaining things will be the same. Okay, so that is how the merge function is useful. Now let us do this. Please focus, merge. Okay, var dot tags, and you want another map that is name equal to timing RDS SG security group. Okay, now these two values should be the same, but this name should be merged with this. Okay, this is also a map, you know this. Now let us go and then plan. Okay, you can see this timing is going to be replaced with the timing RDS SG. Now you apply. Just go and check the security groups. You can see the name got changed, but the remaining parameters are same. Environment dev Terraform is true. So in your interviews, they will ask what are functions in Terraform, which function you used. The Terraform functions can do a unit of work. It can take few arguments and it can return the response for us. For example, I used file function to read the public key. I use merge function to merge the common tags with specific resource based tag. And then we are going to use join split function. We are going to use many functions, lookup function, all those functions in our next sessions. So you can tell that answer confidently in interviews. Okay, so this is about the functions. So these concepts are very easy, actually. Terraform concepts are very easy, but you need to practice it. If you don't practice, then it will become very tough to you. Okay. The functions we discussed, conditions we discussed, data types we discussed, count and count index, variables, everything we discussed. So another thing we have is loops. So if the concepts are heavy, I can stop till here, or I can proceed with functions also. What can we do? Okay, let's proceed then. So usually, it's a simple for loop generally. So what it does, int I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus, print value. For example, like this. So what will happen is initially I value is 0. Then it will check 0 is less than or equal to 10. If it is equal, then it will come into this. It will print. Then I will become 1. 1 less than or equal to 10. So it will loop for 10 times and it will print 10. When it becomes 11, 11 is less than, not 11 less than or equal to, it's wrong. Then the loop will exit. So this is the general thing, right? Loop will be very helpful to create multiple things, okay, to go over a loop and then it can do something. So in Terraform also we have loops. This is not a real-time example. Yeah, so we have something called count based loop. So this is very easy. So already we have seen this count based loop. Just check here. So this is a loop, right? It will run 3 times. So this is a loop that can run 3 times. Okay, first time it is giving you 0, second time it is giving 1, third time it is giving 2. So it is going to iterate for 3 times. Loop is nothing but iteration. So count is one type of loop. You already know that. Another type is for each. Okay, so let us take the example of for each. Okay, generally, you know this. Let's just now we discussed, right? For each syntax, I'm just checking for that. Terraform for each. Trying to check official documentation. Yeah, this one. Okay, so let us create one for each loop. Let us create one task. I want to create 3 public subnets. Okay, generally, there is a concept called high availability. You know this high availability, right? So we have how many regions? So we have in every region, we have in AWS or any cloud, high availability is nothing but at least 2 agent availability zones. For example, if you take Mumbai, there will be 2 data centers. Mumbai is the region. Okay, Mumbai is the region, and it has at least 2. One is North Mumbai and South Mumbai. For example, Mumbai has 3 availability zones. For example, East Mumbai. So why they have multiple availability zones is if North Mumbai is affected with any natural disasters like floods and tsunami, then still these 2 availability zones can work. So as an infrastructure engineer, generally projects or companies, they will ask for high availability. You should not create resources only in one availability zone. If there is any flood or any operations, any issues with the AWS itself, then you lose the business. So they will ask usually for 2 availability zones. So for that purpose, usually we need to create subnets in 2 availability zones. Okay, 2 publics, at least 2. High availability is nothing but at least 2 availability zones. So now I want to create here subnet in 2 availability zones. So what I do here is I will create a variable of public subnets, and then default value equal to I'm giving like this multiple things. Okay, this may be a little tricky to understand, but concentrate. Name of the public subnet 1, CIDR block 10.1.10.0.1.0/24, and which availability zone you want to create. Yes, every region will have minimum 2. South, AP South has 3 availability zones, 1A, 1B, and 1C. Now I want to create multiple like this. What is this error? I want to create 2 public subnet 2 and then 1B. And I want to create like this. This is a list. Okay. So now what I have to do is I need to loop code. So right now I have given 3. You can give 30, 40 also. I want to loop over this and then create the subnets. So here, let us go for AWS subnet. Public, and usually it will ask CIDR block and VPC, right? VPC ID equal to AWS VPC.main.id. Now CIDR block. Now here you need to apply for each. For each is nothing but, let us take the syntax, I don't remember. For each equal to var dot, for underscore each equal to var dot public subnets. Okay, so this one, public subnets, and CIDR block each dot you see value dot CIDR block. What is this? Let me check this variable once. So each dot value dot CIDR block. Okay, so now what will happen is first time it will get this one. So inside I want this CIDR block. And availability zone is also you need to provide each dot value dot availability zone. Okay, so this is the one, right? And then you need to provide name tags equal to name equal to each dot value dot name. Okay, name is capital N. So now let us go for plan. Terraform plan. Invalid for each. Okay. So it should be, must be map, but I have provided here list. Okay, so to provide map starts with like this. And inside you can do let us try this. Just let me check this once again. There is no proper example here. For each example Terraform. Again, let me check what I implemented in my project. Yeah, so here, so the simple mistake actually. So this is a map. Map starts with braces, and here you should have some name. For example, this one. Default equal to something like this. Let me try this one. Okay, so this is a map, default map, and inside we have multiple maps. I need to iterate over through this. Okay, let me check whether this will work or not. If this will not work, let us ask ChatGPT. Yeah, this is the one. So for each, similarly, you can have, for example, 10 or 20. Count is a simple thing. For simple count and count index based type of resources, you can use this. But here you don't have more flexibility. You don't have any multiple parameters. So for that purpose, you need, this is also one type for simple examples. For complex type of things, you can go for each. So here, if you check this, then it has AP South 1.10.1.0 and public subnet 1. Similarly, public subnet 2, public subnet 3. So when this case is useful, you ask user to create any number of subnets he wants. For example, let me create 10 or 20. It is user responsibility to provide this variable. Then your code can create any number of subnets. So that is how this is useful. Okay, we must need this while doing the module development. So that's why I'm telling you this one. So now it is going through the loop and a simple 6-7 lines of code creating multiple subnets. Okay, you can see 5 subnets you are getting. So this is how you can practice the loop. So there are 2 types of loops in Terraform. One is count based loop. That is very simple. Another one is for each. For each should have the map. So this is how you should create a map inside with multiple maps. Okay, so we can stop here and then let me take few questions. Yeah, Radha, you have some question?
No, my doubt was clarified.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Parashram, do you have some question?
Yes, sir. In real application, what type of EC2 instances we are creating?
Based on your requirement. If you want a simple thing, you can go for micro. If you want a big instance, you can go for large.
Real environment, sir, I am asking.
I'm also telling real environment, bro. What do you mean by separate real environment? Don't have this kind of mentality, because outside institutes they are doing like this. Real time, what real environment. So this is all real time only. If you go for production, then you go for obviously large instances. I'm not telling any dummy things here. Everything I'm doing is something useful.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Come out of that mindset. Yeah, Reddy Mitana.
హలో
Yeah, hi.
యా సార్ ఇప్పుడు మెయిన్ ఫైల్ ఉంది కదా సార్ main.tf లో అక్కడ RDS 5432 అనేది పోర్ట్ నెంబరా సార్, డిఫాల్ట్ పోర్ట్ నెంబరా మనం ఇచ్చుకున్నామా?
You can give anything, just for the example purpose I am telling. 5432 is a Postgres default port number.
Okay. Whenever you created a RDS something like that, you give some number, right?
Whatever the port, for example, MySQL port is 3306 something. Oracle port. So that's don't worry about that. Okay, just understand the concept of this. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Vikram.
Hey, hi Shiva. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Nothing, Shiva. I just want to appreciate your teaching. This is the first time I've joined, and I'm really experiencing very good knowledge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shiva.
Balaji?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Siva.
Hi, bro.
May I know what is the difference between the Ansible and the Terraform?
Okay, anyhow. So Ansible is for configuration management. Terraform is for infrastructure provisioning. Terraform responsibility is to create the EC2 instance for you. For example, you want a Jenkins instance. Okay. So Terraform, what it can do is it can create the instance for you. That is its responsibility. But going inside the instance, installing the Jenkins, configuring it, all that things, configuration management. Configuring inside the server is configuration management that can be done by Ansible. Ansible can connect to that server and it can install the required packages, can do the necessary configuration. Okay. So for example, if you want to deploy a Java application to a EC2 server, Terraform can create the EC2 server. Then Ansible can connect to that server. Inside it can do the Java installation, all those required packages. Okay, so there are a lot of resources available on this actually, Ansible versus Terraform. You can just go through that. But whatever I said, that is the concept.
Okay, thank you.
Shivakumar Akella.
Yeah, I have one question about this main.tf.
Mhm.
This time you created under Terraform, which is under variables, right?
Sorry?
So is there any mandatory to create this main.tf file in one particular folder or anywhere we can create it?
So actually all Terraform files should be in a single folder so that when you run Terraform, it can read all the files. If you keep it in another folder, then you have to run Terraform command there as well.
There, yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah. And another question, Srinath. Yogesh.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Shiva.
Hi.
So in real time, you have created the EC2 tags, right?
Hmm.
So in real time, we have a plenty of tags. I mean, plenty of EC2 instances. So for example, 10 EC2 instances.
Hmm.
So what precautions, what the code can be implemented? So at a time,
Okay.
1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah. So in that case, generally there is a for each, right?
Right.
So inside this for each, so we will see this anyhow. I will create here common tags. I'll name it as common tags.
Okay.
And every loop I will merge with another name. Okay. I'll tell you in next while discussing the project. Okay.
Okay.
No need to worry. So you get that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Sai Krishna.
Shiva.
Yeah. Hi, Yogesh.
Hey, Shiva. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me. So, in Visual Studio Code, right? I installed Visual Studio Code, and but I'm not seeing the green, the highlighted ones, right? What additional things we need to install in Visual Studio?
Install this HashiCorp Terraform extension.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Chenna, you have some question? Chenna or Sai Krishna?
Yeah, hi, Shiv.
Yeah, hi, Sai Krishna.
Yeah, actually, my query is functions. Lot of functions is there, right? Is any specific functions we are using daily basis, or do we need to idea on all the function names or something?
So no, you don't need to remember. Just understand the concept of function. Okay, and they will ask you what are the functions you are using in your project. You can say file function, and we are going to use join function, lookup function. Many functions we are going to use.
Okay. And second thing, you mentioned in the variables.tf type equal to map. But
yeah.
What is the map exactly?
Map is a key value pair.
Okay. If you mention bracket string means it will map string data.
Inside these are strings. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah, hi, Radha. Yes,
yeah. For example, I'm creating a folder for the VPC, and
Mhm.
for another resource, I'm creating that resource in another folder. Sorry, like so, VPC is in one TF file is in one folder, and another resource TF file in another folder. So,
Mhm.
how to make the communication between them, or you
Okay,
got me?
so we will have this kind of requirement anyhow. So that will be
Okay.
something like outputs and then parameters, all those things we will use.
Okay, and one more thing, Shiva. So, in the interview, do they ask to write the, security group is there, keyword is there, how do we write the keyword? Do they ask? Because
Yeah, obviously
I don't.
it's not wrong, right? If they ask it, is it wrong? Nothing. So they have
No
the
wrong,
rights
but
to us.
we need to remember all the parameters.
Yeah,
Right?
so that's what you have to do. When they ask, what you have to do is you need to write at least this skeleton syntax. Okay, so you can
Okay.
just say AWS something. It's not need to be exactly correct. You can just say this is the type of the resource, and here I will name it.
The mandatory parameters we need to
Yeah,
remember.
you need to explain them, name of the resource,
Okay.
and then here you can just directly tell, I don't remember the parameters. I can go and search it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So next, who is this?
Shiva, hello.
Yeah. Hi, Chenna.
ఇది టెర్రాఫామ్ వచ్చేసి టాప్ టు బాటమ్ అప్రోచ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లేకపోతే
This is not programming. This is not programming. This is only simple scripting. Okay, no need to worry about that.
Well, first of all, thank you.
No question of top. No question of top to bottom or bottom to top.
నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే మామూలుగా మనము విపిసి క్రియేట్ అదే మామూలుగా ఈసీ2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత లాగిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు మనము మామూలుగా సెక్యూరిటీ ఇస్తాం కదా, లైక్ కీ వాల్యూ పేర్స్, అప్పుడు ఎలాగ తీసుకుంటది అనేది డౌట్.
Okay, so this is a strange question, bro. So you are worrying too much. I think you are a developer. So there is no top to bottom, bottom to top, or nothing like that. Okay, just give the resource name and parameters. It will take. Okay. Anyhow, your questions will be resolved by default in next class. Thank you. Triveni Reddy.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Shiva.
Hi.
Yeah, my question is like, in the main.tf file, you mentioned count equal to 3, right?
Yeah.
And you give list as a web server or IPS server, DB server, like that.
Yes.
If my requirement is like, 3 web servers, I need 3 API servers and 3 DB servers, then how can I do that?
Then give 9 and provide 9 instance names here. Web server 1, web server 2, web server 3,
So
and
we
API
need to
server.
give 9 names, na?
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Okay. So we can't provide like, how it will take, we need to provide, if we give 3 names, like web server, APS, okay, we need to, okay, 9 names we need to give. There is no other way, right?
No, that's the way. If you want 9, you need to provide 9 names.
Because I'm asking web server 3 times, web server only I need, right? So need I to mention again web server like that?
Yeah, obviously, if you're counting 9 times, if you just give 3, then you will get index out of parameter issue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. So that's all for today's session. You can always use this Slack from now onwards. Okay, you can ping the questions like this. Don't create multiple messages. Just in a single thread, we can have a conversation like this. Okay, so at the time of creating this message, just follow this. Give the title, what is the title of the error, and what is the description, what is the error of the description, what is the description of the error, and just do some research before you ask here. Okay, so yeah, let's use Slack. It is more convenient and it's going to be a long-term community.
Is this Slack on web version or do we need to install?
You can use anything you wish.
So what is that path? Okay.
And let's go here. Okay. I just posted the link also in the WhatsApp as well as here else. Try to join it. Thank you so much.
Got it. Thank
That's
you.
all for today. Good night. See you in tomorrow's session.
Shiva, one last question.
Yes.
Bro, have you created any notes for this? Means all
Yeah,
the
I'll
things.
push this. I'll prepare the notes and then I'll push by tomorrow morning. So this is the random thing, right? I'll just keep it in some good format and then I'll push it.
Yeah, thank you.
Shivagar, one last question. It might be silly. I was asked in one of the interviews, like Terraform is mutable or immutable. So I told immutable, but they asked like, okay, then it will, sometimes it will just update the resources. Sometimes it will destroy and save. Then how can you say that it is immutable? I didn't have the answer.
Okay, so those guys, they just really want to have some rubbish discussion. Okay, here, if you just give, for example, the instance type is T2 micro, right? If you give T2.large, what will happen here? Let us see.
Screen is no.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I applied from, in this resource, I applied from T2.micro to T2.large. Now what it is doing is, let me go for this. Mutable is nothing but you can change. Immutable is once it is created, you cannot change. So it is obviously
yes.
immutable. It is obviously immutable, right?
Okay. When they ask the second question, like sometimes it will do update, sometimes it will do create. I didn't have the answer.
Yeah, few is based, yesterday we discussed few based on few parameters, it can just update the resource. But few parameters it cannot update, it has to destroy.
Okay. Okay.
For example, see it destroyed and then it is initializing again.
It is not visible. Okay.
Okay.
Only the GitHub page is visible now.
Oh, it's not visible. Huh?
No.
So actually it is T2.large, right? Can you see this now? T2.large?
Yes.
So if I give, for example, something M3.large.
Now it will destroy and create.
Now you see it is destroying.
Stop it. Yes. Okay.
Or let us see, it will stop and then update the instances, or it can destroy and then create new instances. Actually, it is not destroying, it is stopping and then changing. You can see this, right? So earlier in Terraform versionings, actually it was destroying and then creating. Now at least it became somewhat useful. But anyhow, it is obviously mutable. So those guys, yeah, they just want to have some, I don't know why they ask like this. But here you got some error. You can say this. What is the error? So generally in production, or it's not a best practice to do some changes like this and then apply. Okay, what is the effect? You will lose the data.
Yes.
The best practice is to take the backup and then do it. But it is change the instance, but I don't know why it is unable to start again. Configuration is correct. So something, so it's not the best practice to do by saying this error.
Everything change the hardware, right? Your hard disk, everything will be changed, right?
Yeah, so this is not the correct way to use Terraform. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So the answer should be is immutable only, right?
Immutable is nothing but you cannot change, but it is mutable.
Yeah, once mutable. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, that's all. Thanks for today. Thanks for today. See you in tomorrow's session. Good night.